Hiya, welcome to GGKCS, the multi-generational podcast / FlossTube for fans of all things knitting, cross-stitch, and geeky. I'm Cece, and I'm so glad you're here today. Today is Sunday, the 17th of January, 2021, and this is Stitch With Me, episode 39. I'd like to say a big welcome back. Love y'all to all returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. Hope you enjoy the show. I should have paid attention to my pattern before I started recording. Right? Okay, so I need to go one longer. Okay. If you're new here, my 21-year-old kid, Dammy, and I have been doing a podcast for over 8 years now. And trying to think when we started adding the FlossTube segment to it. It's been well over a year, I believe. Yeah, so at some point we added FlossTube segment to it when I came back to cross stitching after like 14 years away. So, I didn't tell you what I'm stitching. This is Cat and Heart. It was a kit that I believe must have come with a like a magazine or something, but Michelle Bindi Stitchy gave me the kit because it's a pink cat, and my favorite color is pink, and our cat's name is Pink. That's what she was named when we adopted her. It's on a 14 count Aida using the called for flosses. I only stitch on this during Stitch With Me's, so it'll take me a little while to get it done because I only stitch with y'all for about a half hour a week. So, okay, back to who we are. So Dammy is in university now, and so they are only on with me on our full-length episodes every other week, and those release on Thursdays now because of their school schedule, on the opposite weeks, I do an abbreviated version of the full-length episode by myself, and then I do these Stitch With Me's that go live on Mondays. So, yeah. Okay. I was trying to think just before I started recording what has been going on this week. I ventured out into the world for the first time in I don't know how long. On maybe that was Thursday, Friday, sometime at the end of the week. We ran out of coffee creamer, and that is essential because, Dammy and I have a knitting design business called Java Pearl Designs, and our kind of tagline is hand knit designs fueled by the love of coffee, because we both love coffee a lot. So it was essential that I had to go get some coffee creamer, and I had some parcels I had to go to the post office for to get sent out. And so I made a quick run by, excuse me, let me get a drink of water here, by Joann's, and got, my main goal in going in there was to get a hoop to finish Dammy's 21st birthday cross stitch in. And I wanted to get 3 of them because I have 2 other patterns in the same line, and I want them all to be matching hoops. They only had 2. But it looks like it's their like normal ones, so I'll just pick up a 3rd one next time I'm in. Hopefully they have that size back in stock because they only had 2 left. And there were some Dmc Flosses I needed to get. Oh my gosh, y'all. The flosses, they had so few Dmc Flosses. I think there were 5 colors that I needed, and they had 3 of the 5. So I'm going to have to figure out something for the other 2. I also picked up, this was random, this is not at all what I went in there for, but if you've been following me for a while, you, especially on social media, I got, at some point during the pandemic, I got a rose gold craft cart that I have like at the end of our sectional couch. And when I'm sitting on the couch, I pull it around to where I'm sitting. And it has like all my active projects in it and like notions pouches and my interchangeable needle set for knitting and like just random things like that I use often. But at Joann's, they had this tray that fits in the top of it so that you would have a flat surface, and it's attached by magnets. And I discovered when I got it home, you don't necessarily have to put it to where it's covering up that the whole tray on top. I had turned it sideways, and so I can put stuff like underneath the tray, but I also still have like half the top tray for, like, I've got a mug that has like a pair of scissors and I don't know what all is in there like that. And then I also have a coffee mug there that I'm using to put my orts and when I trim ends on yarn on my knitting projects and stuff. So it's like a trash can. And when it gets full, I'll empty it. Because I don't save my orts. I know some people do. I don't know what orts stands for. I know it stands for something, but it's like the when you finish with a strand of floss and cut it, and there's not enough left to use on something for another time stitching. That's what they are. So anyway, there was no price on the tray thingy. So I just took it up to the register with me and asked them to scan it to tell me how much it was. And he told me, but he was like, it's not on sale. So do you have coupons? And I was like, yeah, and I had a 50% off coupon that I could use on it. So I got it for half price. So, I also got cross stitch fabric. I'll tell you about that in a second. I got 2 hoops, 3 flosses, cross-stitch fabric, and the tray for less than the cost of the full price of the tray. So, and I'm loving it. I'm loving having that on there already, and I've only had it a few days. I did buy fabric. If you are a Patreon supporter at the $10 or $15 level, you may have seen this already in my vlog. But I was watching Michelle Bendy Stitchy's FlossTube channel. I don't know if it was in the last live, like Stitch and Chat or Stitch with Me, whatever she calls them. I don't know if it was in the most recent one or one before that, but recently, I wasn't able to be there live, and so I was watching the replay of it, and somebody mentioned a Gilmore Girls sampler stitch along, and I about lost it. I was like, oh my gosh, where's that from? So I tracked it down. It's in a Facebook group called The Enablers, and it's a free pattern, and it's a 150 by 150 stitches. It's not full coverage, so it's not going to be all that stitching, but it's little motifs from Gilmore Girls. And so I bought a piece of 14 count Aida to do that on, because in the clues, they're in random places. The different motifs are in random places in the thing, and I know myself, and I would 100% have miscounted something if I did it on like a 28 count and stitched over 2. So I did it over, I got 14 count so I could do it over 1. And they are putting out clues in the group like 3 times a week for 12 weeks. So there's lots and lots of little motifs. Last night I used an erasable pen to kind of, I didn't grid my fabric, but I did like count it at 10 stitch increments around, all the way around, so that it will be easier for counting. And then that ink will disappear in high heat. I mean, it's one of those erasable ones that I use like all the time, but it will erase in high heat. So I will probably soak it in super hot water to get rid of the lines. So there's already 7 clues out. Let me see what I'm doing here, y'all. Okay, it's the same all the way to the end. There's already 7 clues out, but like I said, they're all very small. So I actually did clue number 1 last night, and it was a quote from Mrs. Kim, Lane's mother, that says, "Boys don't like funny girls." So I stitched that last night, so I'm done with clue 1. Clue 2 is the Chilton logo where Rory went to school. I don't remember what all the clues are thus far. One of the clues is the Luke's coffee logo thing that says Luke's on it, the yellow coffee cup. I'm trying to remember what else. I can't remember what all. So anyway, so I'm excited about that. So I picked that up, and I'm going to try to catch up and see if I can, once I catch up, stay current with it, because they're very small motifs. But I adore Gilmore Girls. Dammy and I call each other Lorelai and Rory. So I have the Gilmore Girls Pop Funko over in my window over here. There's a window next to this cabinet. I have a coffee cup over there that says, I think it says something like she drinks more coffee than a Gilmore or something like that. I adore Gilmore Girls. Adore Gilmore Girls. Favorite TV show, bar none. So I'm excited to start that. But that was a start that I wasn't expecting to do this year because I didn't know about it. I think I'm going to have to stop right there with that. I had not intended to start Halloween Quaker this year, which I have not started yet. But Michelle, Bindi Stitchy, is going to do, Sal, with Zooms for it. And I already have the pattern, and Michelle actually gifted me some fabric. We actually traded fabric because I don't stitch on linen. And the 2 of the fabrics in the Black Needle Society, the Nice List box, were linen. And so I sent her the 2 linens, and she sent me 2 fabrics. So one of the fabrics is perfect. I think was it just in our last video, I think, our last full-length episode that I showed the fabric. It's called Trick or Treat. It's purple and green, and it's so pretty. So that's not on my Whipco board either, but y'all know about Whipco, and I've talked about it at some point. So it's this challenge where you make it's like a bingo board, but it's called Whipco. You make a bingo board, and you put something in each square, and you can choose to put something in the free space or not. I didn't. And every month 2 numbers are called, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can either when a square's number is called, you can do your goal for that square in that month. Or you can do I'm doing, where I made the goals I made are for the entire year. And so I made myself a thing where it has I made my bingo board, but I also made a thing where I have the square number, the project name, the goal, the day, the month that the square was called, and then a final column for when I completed the goal. And then if I complete the goal, I go ahead and put the date in, and then once the square is called, I'll mark it off on my Whipco board. So 12 of my squares have Edinburgh Castle, my big full coverage piece, in them, and the goal for that is to do 500 stitches. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to limit myself to 1 of those squares a month. I'm still going to stitch more than that on Edinburgh Castle. I'm trying to do, I'm sorry. I don't know why my throat is so raspy. Allergies probably. I've been sneezing, and I'm not sick. But I have really bad allergies and asthma. And so there's something in the air, because even the cat, even Pink Pearl's been sneezing. Where was I? I'm trying to do I'm trying to do a minimum of 200 stitches a week on my Edinburgh Castle. This week I did more. I did 300 stitches this week. I did 300 stitches on Edinburgh Castle yesterday. But I'm limiting myself to one Edinburgh Castle square a month to mark it as that goal is finished. So I have that on 12 of the squares to do 500 stitches. I've already finished 2 other squares. One of them, the goal was to finish Dammy's birthday cross stitch, and one of them was to finish the Hello Pumpkin stitch that I had going. So both of those are finished. 2 of the squares actually have this project in them to do 4 Stitch With Me videos per square. So this makes number 2, number 3, number 2, because the first Sunday in January I was finishing Baba Black Sheep. So this marks number 2 on this. And then I have some new starts, like Ink Circle's Helianthus, and that actually is one of the squares that was called this month. So everything else that I put on there, I put them twice to work 5 days on them per square. So Ink Circle's Helianthus was one of the ones that was called for this month, and so I actually did start that one this month, and I think I've worked on it like 3 days already this month. I'm trying to think what other new starts. There's actually 2 Bindi Stitchy designs. The Winter Witches, which came in the Nice List box, and Hildy's Hayride, which Michelle just actually recently sent to me, because I've finished all the other Hildy's. So those 2 are on there. Lindy Stitch's Cats Love Christmas, which is a 3 pattern set. So, I'll start one of them, and if I end up finishing it before I've worked the total of 10 days on it over the 2 squares, I'll just start another pattern in that. But I was not intending to, I didn't know about the Gilmore Girls sampler, so that's not on my go board, but I'm going to do it anyway. I didn't intend to start Halloween Quaker, but I'm going to be doing that. I intended to start it eventually, but it wasn't just like I didn't have it in the forefront of my mind, but that's fine. I'll do it. So yeah. So I'm staying busy with cross stitch, and loving it, and staying busy with knitting. I'm I think I have 3 days left to finish my second cat vent cowl that I'm knitting. And then I think I'm actually going to knit a third one. We're going to see. I need to weigh the yarn because I'm using the yarn for my advent calendar box thing. Okay, let's see. Where am I? Okay, this one I got to pay attention to a little bit because it's right here where the cat's ear is starting to come into the picture. Speaking of Black Needle Society, did y'all watch my unboxing of the Date Night with Your Stitching? Date night? It's sitting right back here. Yeah, Date with Your Stitching box. It's on YouTube if you haven't watched it yet. Oh my gosh, it was such an amazing box. I'll show everything in it in this week's full-length episode. So, yeah. And there's a Gilmore Girls box later this year, and I'm so freaking excited. As well as, if you subscribe now to the every other month subscription thing, because Black Needle Society has an every other month box that have different themes. So like January's was Date with Your Stitching, and then they have special edition boxes. Gilmore Girls will be a special edition box. But for the every other month box in May, it's going to be, the theme is, I can't remember what they called it. I think it's like Rainbow Stitches or Rainbow Stitching, because of Pride Month in June. And I'm so excited to get that. So there is a link in the show notes at ggkcs.com to save on your first month of the every other month boxes. So if you subscribe now, your first box will be in May because they have to have time to curate. So, for example, for January, I think we paid back in November. So, um, yeah. So, but that is a lot of fun. So definitely check out that unboxing. There were some amazing things in it, and I can't wait to use them. I need to show it in the podcast this week, as well as I'm going to go ahead and pre-take all of the pictures for the photo challenge that's at the beginning of February so that I can start using this stuff. So, yeah, the reason they are not doing the photo challenge until February is to make sure that everybody has a chance to get their boxes, because overseas, especially, and with all the issues that we've had with shipping, with the post office being so overwhelmed. Okay, hold on, y'all. Okay, so don't do that stitch, but you go okay all the way to the end. So, yeah. So it was an amazing box. I loved it so much. And Dammy definitely wanted to steal one thing out of there. I'm not saying what it is in case you subscribed and you don't want to be spoiled. So I will give a spoiler warning as well in the full-length episode this week before I talk about it, because I don't want anybody to get spoiled. I hate being spoiled. So yeah. So I will definitely give a spoiler warning. So. Okay, I've been rambling for 22 minutes about nothing, pretty much. Let's answer one of these prompts in the 300 Writing Prompts book that I got from Barnes & Noble. This is the one that I didn't answer last week because we were coming up close to 30 minutes and it was a longer answer. So I was like, I'm going to wait on that one, so I'll do it today. Do you consider yourself an introvert or an extrovert? How does this compare to how others see you? So, if you had known me 10 years ago, I would have considered myself an extreme extrovert. Extreme extrovert. In fact, on the what's it called? Myers-Briggs. On the Myers-Briggs test, I was like as extrovert on the E or the I for extrovert introvert one. I was as far extroverted as you could possibly be. So, but then what happened was I got sick with fibromyalgia and became pretty much housebound for quite a while. And being ill changes you. It can change you. And so when I retook the Myers-Briggs test, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I am now right on the middle line of the spectrum between extrovert and introvert. I am as much in this very center of that line as you could possibly be. So, I can be extroverted, definitely, when I'm, especially if I'm with people that I know fairly well, or whatever. I can be extroverted as all get out. If I'm in a place where I'm with new people, it takes me a little while. But I also have those introvert tendencies of needing I can't be with a huge group of people for too long. I need the recovery. Definitely need recovery time. So I call myself an extroverted introvert because I can have those extrovert tendencies, but for the most part, I now see myself as an introvert. So, how does that compare to how others see me? I think if you knew me prior to getting sick, you would probably agree with what I just said. I don't think there is, maybe. I can only do that one stitch. Yeah, if you knew me prior you would probably agree with what I said. People who know me now, I think they would also they would agree with that I can turn on the extrovert, especially like I said, if it's with people that I know fairly well, or if it's a situation where I am crafting, or with crafting people, I can have that extrovert, but also need the recovery time of the introvert and need to have time away from people. So, yeah, I feel like that's probably pretty accurate of who I am. Let's see if there is another. Oh, I'll tell you this story. So I don't write about these prompts. I talk about them, not all of them, but I talk about some of them here on the Stitch With Me's. But this one says, write about a time you broke something. So let me tell you the sad, sad story of the time that I broke something. I must have been, I think my sister had to have been born by then, and I'm a little over 3 years older than my sister. So I must have been maybe like 4 or 5, maybe young. And we had a fairly good size. Well, this is what is in my memory of it. It could have been much smaller because I'm remembering this as a child. The experience happened when I was a child. We had a fairly good size fish tank in our house. And do y'all remember they still make them today. I think they are made much differently, but I think it was a Fisher Price toy that there was the different colored rings, and it had that big base with the pole in the middle that you stacked the rings on. Well, I don't know if it's still this way, but it used to be. No, wait. It still had to be must have been one piece. Trying to remember this event that happened like 40 years ago. Anyway, I must have been misbehaving, and I think I probably was told several times to stop what I was doing and did not do it, but I was like turning in circles but holding the piece that you stack the rings on, and turning in circles and being silly as a child. And I don't know if I purposefully let go of the toy or accidentally let go of the toy, but it hit the fish tank and cracked it, and water started pouring out. Fishy started pouring out. What I remember is me saying, "Save the fishy, save the fishies." Spoiler: the fishies did not survive. Yeah. So that is your warning of don't turn in circles holding a hard plastic toy, and because it can fly out of your hand or purposely be let go, I don't remember which, and cause damage. So don't do that, okay? So there you go. There's a childhood story of a time that I broke something. So save the fishies, save the fishies. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're going to call it a close here. Look, I finished the stripes here above the kitty's head, so I just need to finish the rest of these over here. And then this same green is this green right here, as well as not this green, not this huge section. And this green that's used for this huge section is used over here in the heart, but this is the same green as well that is used over here on the other side of the cat's head. And then it's used a little bit in the leaves. So, but I'm making progress on my cat with heart. Got to hear me ramble. Got to hear a silly story of me as a child. Oh, hello, look at this headband. Can I tell you how excited I am about this? It's got llamas on it, and the llamas are wearing headbands. And it's a faux knot. So I was introduced to these headbands because of Black Needle Society Nice List box. They had a cross-stitch one made for us. It's from a company called Fable Bands, Fablebands. They are on Instagram. And they have coupon codes if you watch their stories, like their save stories on Instagram. Their reps have codes. I now own 4 of these headbands. This one just came in. So I have the cross-stitch one. And then for Christmas, I got the Gilmore Girls I Smell Snow one. And Dammy got the Chronicles of Narnia one with the lamppost for Christmas. And then I got this one, just came in this week. And I also got a Hufflepuff loyalty one. I love them. I love headbands with short hair, but it's hard sometimes to find headbands that don't slip, and these don't slip. And it's a faux knot, so it's nothing to tie. They have other styles, but I love the faux knot, and I love headbands over top of my ears. I love them. Black Needle Society's fault. I blame them in the best possible way. All right, I'm going to end here, y'all. You can find us online at ggkcs.com. There you'll find links to everywhere else we are online. Apple Podcasts, YouTube, our Facebook group, Instagram, all the places. And I will be back with you it'll go live on Thursday with a abbreviated version of the podcast. And then Dammy will be back next week. And until then, I hope that you have a great, great, great week ahead. Please remember to wear your masks. Please be safe. We don't know what's going to happen this week here in the U.S. with the inauguration, with everything that happened in the Capitol. And so please just be safe, make wise choices. Check on those that you love and care about. Okay? And until we see you again, happy crafting. Talk to you again soon.